Okay, guys, this is Sean, and I'm just going to talk about the CG model class, and that's one of the activity that I'm gonna show you today. And basically, you can see in the video, the guy is actually drawing all the pictures of figures, and I wonder, lots of people are going to ask why they're doing that in their CG model. And I think one of the most important thing in CG model is to understand the geometry, how it works in 3D space. And by doing that, I want people who never touched Maya before to have a very clear and more humanistic understanding of how these abstract concept works, such as extrusions, um, scale, size, move, rotate, etc. So this video basically is showing um, one of one of friends of mine actually was drawing from one of the book that is the book actually was um, the book actually it was written by one of the most famous illustration artists in 20th uh, century, and I think he's born around 1920s, and he's master of figure drawing, and I found this book very interesting because the guy actually sees regular human anatomy as not as human body part, but as uh, geometry, shapes, blocks, and it's very interesting how they dissect the human body inside these little components so that it makes user to understand what this whole human anatomy is about. And this guy is basically drawing from the pages I selected, which those pages I found it relatively very well represent how this figure drawing master represent and the way of teaching how he communicate through um, teaching figure drawing and let his student understand um, how this geometry works. And although it's an illustration book, but I find it very interconnected to what we are doing in CG modeling. And basically, the guy, he's drawing the figure, let's say from the head, and he was drawing basically the abstract shapes to represent part of the head and the bodies. And once he got the basic overall shape done, then he can start working on the detail because he got the overall size worked out, and that is one of the most important thing, uh, so that you have a sense of space and how big things are um, in terms of the relationship, the ratio um, from one object to the next, how they compare with each other. I think by drawing human figure, it's very well presented in this way, and it's almost like it's more effective than drawing our room and having different objects. In the human body, if one particular part of the body looks slightly bigger, you see the problem right away instead of seeing separate objects. And I think this way basically encourage and inspires student to get more in depth and have a very clear understanding of how this geometry works once later in the classes we get into some of the most um, abstract concepts, such as abstract extrusions and such, and NURBS. If we have time this semester, we're probably going to work on um, NURBS and how to cut NURBS, and it makes your geometry looks a lot more organic looking. So that's basically what my class activity is about. And thanks, Watt, for watching.